Hello, good evening. It's Friday and it's 5 o'clock again, and welcome to Supreme Leverage. My name is Olubukola Adewi, and I'm the CEO of Supreme Education Foundation Schools. Like I tell you, every Friday is interesting on Supreme Leverage, and today we are having no other person but our Utu Show. It's going to be a very interesting evening. It's about youth and entertainment. It's about music. It's about how does that affect the education world? How can it relate together? And it's going to be an interesting. It's an evening where I think it's not just you sitting by the screen this evening. It's an evening where your children, our youth, can sit down with you and then see about the movement, the momentum, and the message for this season. So we will be having with us, should I tell you the name? It's Guys Babat with us this evening, and I am really excited. But then, as it always is, before we dive in this evening, we will be going to the studio with Oluwakemi Adesoya, one of Supreme Passionate Teachers. Oluwakemi, over to you, please, for the news. Okay, while we are waiting for, Oluwakemi is coming up. Kemi, over to you. Good evening, Kemi.
Good evening, and thank you, Mrs. Adewi. This is Supreme News, and here's the news across Nigeria. Supreme School online classes. Enrollments are still on in Supreme School online classes. Our philosophy is to provide learning without barriers, and we aim to offer exactly what we claim to provide, an enjoyable, educational, and interactive learning experience for all our students. We are committed to delivering nothing but the very best. Calm down. As he celebrates Salah, Sanwo-Olu tells Lagos residents. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said he was inspired by the video of a young boy online asking his mother to calm down, as she was set to punish him for a misdemeanor, with the governor taking to his Facebook account to encourage residents of the state to assume the same disposition while celebrating Eid el-Kabir. I urge every Lagosian to calm down and not get carried away by the excitement of the moment. Like the rest of the world, we are still in the middle of a pandemic and need to remain extremely careful to keep the gains of the sacrifices we have all made in the past months. Lagos State students to get SuccessBox practice software 100% free. The Lagos State Ministry of Education, in partnership with Chronicle Software Development Company, is giving out SuccessBox, West Africa Examination Council, and Basic Education Certificate Examination Practice Software free 100%. As schools resume nationwide, this will allow SS3 and GSS3 students prepare for examinations. The Commissioner of Education, Mrs. Folashade Adefisayo, has approved this initiative as it is designed to enable students to revise extensively and better prepare for excellence in their examinations. SuccessBox is a computer-based test preparation software with over 15 years question bank and answers, instant results feedback, performance analytics, and works 100% offline after download and activation. Nigerian teen win President's Academic Excellence Award, gets letter from Trump. Brilliant Nigerian teenager Ikechukwu Nwachukwudiko has won 2 separate awards in the United States. A student of the Notre Dame in Connecticut won the Presidential Award for Elite Scholarship in America and the Connecticut Seal of Biliteracy. One of the honors he was awarded recognized his proficiency in diverse foreign languages, while the other got him a letter from President Donald Trump. WAEC begins August 17th, NECO October 5th, says federal government. The West African Examination Council examination for Senior Secondary School 3 will start on August 17th. According to a comprehensive schedule for various national examination for exit classes spanning August 17th to November 18th, 2020, as released by the federal government. Minister of State of Education, Mr. Chukwuemeka who made the announcement on Wednesday in Abuja after a series of meetings, said the National Business and Technical Examination Board examinations will start on September 21 and end by October 15. The Basic Education Certificate examinations for GSS3, also conducted by NECO, will start on August 24 and end September 7, the statement added. Lagos State trains teachers ahead of resumption. And as part of preparation towards schools reopening after months of closure, the Lagos State government has begun virtual training program for all the public secondary school teachers across the 6 educational districts in the state. Mrs. Adefisayo noted that the theme of the training, mitigating strategies against erosion in the education sector, was germane, going by the current global crisis, which she said has given a new direction for all sectors, including education. So, as a responsible government, we need to prepare our teachers for the demands of the new normal, to enable them to cope conveniently with their students and others when schools are reopened, she stressed. And this is the world news. Trump raises possibility of delaying presidential election. The United States President Donald Trump on Thursday said the November presidential election might have to be delayed, citing some claims that mail-in voting could result in fraud. With universal mail-in voting, 2020 will be the most inaccurate and fraudulent election in history. The president has been pushing hard to block expansion of postal voting in the states around the country. The movement was growing as part of an effort to making voting easier, but gained momentum amid fears about coronavirus spreading as people gather at polling stations. And there is no evidence to support the idea that either absence or mail-in ballots contributes to voter fraud. And now leave you with the quote for the day. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today, by Will Rogers. I am Oluwakemi Adesanya, reminding you to calm down. And over to you, Mrs. Adewi.
Thank you, Luakemi. Thank you very much for that. I am calming down, and I hope Lagos is calming down as well. I mean, it's very interesting. The little boy, they calm down, and telling the moms, you sit this way. I'm just telling you to sit this way. Very lovely and interesting video. I hope Lagos is learning from it, that we are calming down with the Eid Mubarak. And that is really the message the governor is trying to pass on to us, to be very considerate of this season and be careful so that we don't go back on a lockdown. And also, I'm very impressed with Lagos State. Kemi, I think we need to give Lagos State a round of applause with success. But that was good, interesting. Yes,
Amazing.
15 years past questions. That's a lot from the children to learn on. Our commissioner for education is really creating waves. Kudos to her.
Cheers.
Well done. Yes, it's very impressive. We're getting there, really, in Nigeria, slowly but surely. Indeed, we're getting there. And so now we will go to the studio. Kemi, are you ready to dance a little bit? Are you ready to move a little bit? the career and entertainment industry spanning over 10 years and still counting by God's grace. He has experienced firsthand and third opportunities, representations, and platforms available to creatives within the entertainment space across Africa. Gaze Baba, I think he will correct me on that. Maybe it's guys or gays. We will have to correct me on that. I'm not really sure of the right pronunciation, considering I've always thought he was an Hausa guy that really understands Yoruba very much. He founded the Lighthouse High School Initiative, and Sef Supreme can't wait to have you with us for Lighthouse in November 2017. A value-driven melange of entertainment and advocacy for young students in high schools and colleges. So far, he has activated 12 editions across 7 schools and has held 2 camps. In October 2019, he launched 464 projects. Oh my God. An entertainment company focused on music and live events. He developed Aramanda, Aramanda, I hope I got that right, an Afro-urban Christian music and arts festival, touring Christian audiences across churches and cities. What if you've not listened to him, what you would find with his music is the raw blend of Christianity, the love of God, with music and being hip at the same time. So you are able to dance. In fact, during the week, my daughters were listening. They're like, I just like the beats in between. And I found myself moving to the music. I think my favorite is Awa Otu show. And at that point when one of the ladies pulled off her wigs, I said, finally, this guy has exposed all of us with all our wigs. And she pulled it out very lovely. I enjoyed Follow as well. And for me, the message behind the song, behind Follow was really intense. It's a message I've always been talking about what is going on with us, why are we losing our heredity, why are we losing our cultural identity, and we're following things blindly. And so before I take to, because I can keep talking about him and I will spend the next hour telling you what I love about him, what I found about him, but it's better he does justice to him. So everybody, let's put our hands together as we bring on board his God needs to have
good evening. Good evening, ma'am. Please confirm that you can hear me.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, that's awesome. All right. My name is Akiande Boye. Well, more commonly known as Gaze Baba. So it's pronounced Gaze. So it's
Gaze Baba.
The pronunciation is like Gaze.
Gaze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gaze Baba. Gaze is it's an acronym of my initials. So Oluwaga, Akiande, Iboye, Samuel.
Okay.
That's how I came.
Really?
That's how I came about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, apologies. That's my son actually. So I'm in the study. The door is locked so that they don't disturb, but he was
coming, yes. And I hope he's not going to start telling you calm down too.
Yeah. So been in the game for about a decade. Always been message driven because I believe that music is entertaining, but music can do a lot more than entertain. So I see music as a vehicle with which you can convey messages, So if some artists use their music to, push or promote drugs and promote, illicit sex, promote all sorts of things that are derailing the young people, we can use the same music to promote right values
to
move our people forward. Like I like to say that the music of a people determines the culture of the people. So
Mm.
if teachers or educators are struggling with teenagers and preteens who want to sag, it's not because deep down they want to sag. It's because there are cultural leaders through entertainment who are sagging. And so they've made it
Mm.
cool to the young people. Um, tattoos, hard drugs, weed, all
Yeah.
things that the leaders of the culture make to look cool, and young people are very very impressionable.
Oh, that's true.
They are very spongy. For instance, when we began the Lighthouse movement, it was reluctant. I feel like I had been getting the nudge to go to my alma mater. So I finished from King's College in 2002. So in 2000 and around 2015, I started getting the nudge to go back to KC and organize a concert just to inspire the current students and
Mm.
all of that. And I was reluctant because I was, occupied with my individual career, you know. But eventually in 2017, I did go to KC with my team, and we organized what is now the first edition of the Light Out Initiative.
Oh.
At the time that we were planning that one, we weren't thinking we're going to go around schools. All I wanted to do was just go to KC and put an inspiring concert together for the boys. But when we did that, or as we did that, we realized that this was a product that we needed to take round schools, and which students, specifically teenagers and preteens, needed. And what we've realized across the various editions that we've activated is teenagers aren't difficult. They're awesome people. They just need to know that you get them, you understand them, and you
Mm.
can connect with them on their level. When you connect with them on their level, then you can sell your product. If whatever that product is, so the
Okay.
problem is people with the right product haven't been connecting with the young people.
Okay.
So when we started, KC, Green Springs, QC, all the works, we just realized that they're just a very spongy, they're at a spongy
Stage
stage.
of their life. Yeah.
So I mean, we got the feedback that we keep getting is almost like, where have you guys been? I love how you love God and you're cool about it, And then we get messages where teenagers are getting in touch and sharing challenges and things that they are going through in their personal lives that they don't feel comfortable sharing with maybe parents or teachers. So I
Mm.
mean, there are students who maybe are struggling with porn or struggling with homosexuality. I mean, there was a 13-year-old girl who was asking, "What do you think? Should I have a boyfriend? My other friends have. I don't think I need it, but they all make me feel like I need it." And then just as I was immediately when I sent the message, and I was like, "You don't need all that distraction in your life. Focus on your books right now and grow." And you could tell that somewhere within, they already know the truth. They just need to be
Okay.
shared from
Just
someone they
waiting for
admire.
a confirmation.
Exactly. So
And so that means to me, it seems as if it really matters to the youth that the message is coming from someone that they deem as cool. The cool
yes,
factor is really
it's
important
very
to them.
important. It's
And that
very
is what gives
important.
them identification. So they
Very
helps them to
important.
identify
So
with you.
they feel like you get us, you understand, you're not far away.
Yeah.
Um it's not it doesn't have a daddy mommy feel. You're not,
Mm.
barging down on them. You're kind of like on their level, and relating with them on that level, using their language, vibing, and all of that. So if the vibe is right, they understand it, they feel you, and then you now tell them, yo, you can actually, so for instance, part of what we do is we share our stories, and these are things that we've lived ourselves. So personally, for instance, I abstained from sex till I got married. Now, when I tell young people that, they're like, yo,
Really?
first they are surprised that I'm married. First of all, they're like very surprised that I'm married. They're like, you don't look married, you look 22, you look 23. I'm like, yeah, it's because I keep the vibe right. Then when I then tell them that, what it does is it shows this thing is possible. Because what is in their faces, through media, traditional media, social media, feels like, yo, everybody's doing it. There's no point. So when they're able to see models or examples who have told a different path and don't look boring.
Very true.
And they don't look like they are coming from the 70s. They look at the crew, and just seeing the crew, they want to be like the crew.
Good.
And when they now hear from this crew that the path that we are taking is different from the popular path, then they're like, okay, that's fine. Then it means that we can actually identify with the people's route. So it's
and I think they are able to identify more with you as apart from taking it, because you're also Nigerians. You're going through the same route that they are taking. University in Nigeria, young boy. Because for Justin Bieber as well, we heard that stayed as well. Didn't have sex till he got married. But it might seem like, well, it's because he's in the States. That's not possible here in Nigeria. We have different climates, different things are happening back here. But this is someone here that is also in the music industry, thriving in that industry, looks really good, and he's been able to do it. So I think it's really good, and really a huge applause for you for that, for being a good role model to them, because now we can say, but Gates did it. So why are you telling me it's not possible? It is possible. And you can't tell me he's going to have Gates would have more to deal with than even some of it, because he's out there. His job demands him being in the face of the public. And then also that your job generally kind of naturally attracts the opposite sex, because he is so cool. He is so cool. So it's really good that. So what is Aramanda?
Aramanda is the festival.
Aramanda, okay.
Yeah, Aramanda is a festival. Aramanda is actually a Yoruba word that means exceptional wonder. And the truth is, Aramanda came out of Light Out, because we started Light Out November 2017. We didn't get the idea for Aramanda till 2019, just last year. So the idea for Aramanda is to have a broader, is to create a platform for a broader age range.
Okay.
Light Out is specifically for young people, for not just young people, it's even more streamlined. It's like teenagers. And specifically for high schools. We almost intentionally do not go to universities.
Okay.
A lot of people think universities. A lot of people, they think youth, they think universities. But my understanding, which instructed the vision of Light Out, is that folks in universities are already set in their ways. They're like
catching them young.
18, 19 and above, 22, 23. They're set in their ways, and a lot of people are facing them already. Secondary schools, high schools, you set someone on the right path from that age, the person is good for life. There are mistakes that are made in high school, and it could take 2 decades to get over
Correct. It. Yes, very true.
You know, we're talking teenage pregnancies, we're talking STDs, we're talking, you know, drug addiction, all these unnecessary encumbrances that teenagers can do without. You know, because I was there, I was in that phase. I knew friends of mine who got encumbered with different stuff and how the journey went for them. So for us, Lightout, we concentrate on high schools. So we did King's College, then we did Green Springs, then we did Federal Science and Technical College in Yaba, then we did QC, then we did Oxbridge, and a couple other Dancehall, Babcock High School. So if we were going to a university, it would be Aramanda.
Okay.
And then Aramanda is more overtly Christian.
Okay.
Aramanda is very, you know, urban, beautiful Christian content.
Okay.
In your face, it's a Christian festival. Lightout. So even is Yoppie is dope, is the vibe, but it's like it's Christian. There's no, you know, there's no subliminal message.
Okay.
With Lightout, it is less. There is much less religious tone.
Okay.
Or undertone to it, because when we go to a high school, there are Christians, there are Muslims, there are people of different, they're children of different faith. And the most important thing is we just want to get this to inspire them to see values like stewardship, because we believe that that's like the biggest thing that we lack in Nigeria. Stewardship is taking responsibility for something, even if it is not your personal possession.
True.
The reason why you would run a red light or go against traffic as an adult is because you don't care about anybody else. You're only thinking about yourself. The reason why you take gala or yogurt or something and dump the container on the floor is because you have absolutely no sense of responsibility for the environment. So you are not taking ownership for your community. And so we're like, if we can get these values into young people using the vehicle of entertainment, which they will always, you know, embrace, then we can get them thinking right. Because apologies, but man, your generation in this country, we don't think people can fix this country again. So, plus if in fact, our generation, I think what we should focus on is not trying to fix the country. I think it is trying to raise a generation that grows with a right mindset and can then make the changes. You know, nation building is long term.
It's true. Yeah, it's not done overnight.
In 4-year cycles. You don't change a nation with 4-year cycles. It's long term. You know, so there's also a nation building angle to Lightout. Because if we have the kind of partnerships and the kind of support that we desire, and we're able to say do 50 schools in a year. If we do 50 schools in a year, we're reaching literally hundreds of thousands of young people. If we are able to raise a crop of young teens, preteens and teenagers, in 10 years, they will be in the corporate world. Because we're talking 12, 13 to 16-year-old. In 10 years, 23 to 26, there will be the new entrants in the corporate world. And if you have been able to successfully raise a crop of young people who are averse to corruption, who have like a sense of dignity, a sense of strong character, then the nation is going to have a flip. So there's that angle to it as well. So I mean, Aramanda, yeah, urban Christian festival,
Fantastic.
but Light Out is more
so Aramanda is very intense, and so at the university level, if you are attending an Aramanda program, then you know that you're going for a Christian program. You know what you're going into. While at the secondary school level, well, Seth can't wait to have you in for Lighthouse as well. We can't wait. We are looking forward. In fact, we are standing our countdown from today. We are the next on the list. So I would like to, did you find music, or did music find you?
I think this is a kind of like a mix of both.
Okay.
But more of music finding. Shout out to Mrs. Okozi Loretta. I can see the message.
Yes.
Just to say that I can see the message.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I grew up in like a music loving family. The first time I sang in public, I was 4 years old. It was my mom.
Ooh.
My mom was principal of the School of Nursing at Obafemi Awolowo University, teaching hospital complex in Ile-Ife. I grew up in Ile-Ife. And so she took myself and my immediate senior sister to sing. I still remember the chorus. It's called the chorus. Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart
be acceptable in thy sight, oh Lord.
That's the very first song I sang in public. So maybe it was a prophecy. so that was my growing up years. But then when I was in KC, I joined the King's College Christian Fellowship Choir and the King's College Choir. Then after that, when I left high school, myself and a good friend of mine had a desire to keep performing on stages. But we didn't have any songs, because when we're in school, the leaders of the choir will bring the song and teach us.
That's true, yes. And then when
we're out of school, there was nobody to, give us the song. So we didn't know where to find the songs. I mean, we're 15, 16-year-old boys. But I just thought to myself, like, wherever these guys used to get the songs from, somebody wrote it. A human being wrote it.
Very true.
So how about I try to write a song? That was what I thought to myself in late 2002, early 2003. And that's how I started writing. Of course, the songs I wrote 2003, I probably won't sing them anywhere. But those are the songs that kickstarted
a good trial,
of songwriting. And by 2004, I started getting opportunities to sing in the area where I was at the time, which was Egbeda, Alimosho, that axis.
Okay.
Then I got admitted to Obafemi Awolowo University. And so while I studied economics, by the way. While I was studying economics in OAU, I was also developing my music. So while in OAU, I organized 2 concerts, actually. When I was in 200 level, I organized the concert. When I was in 400 level, I organized another concert. So the things that I'm doing now, I already did it on a smaller level, on a smaller scale.
So you built your momentum over time. Thank you for the messages coming in. I saw a message about us. If we have a branch in the UK, please go on our website and you'll find all your details. And it's virtual learning, so you can always join SEF online as well. And thank you for all the lovely. Thank you, Praise. Thank you, Joy, for that. So you built your momentum over time, which is one of the main thing we are talking about today, the movement, the momentum, and the message. So you started from school and gradually gained traction. So to the youths that might be watching now, because at the beginning, I asked parents to call in their youths to come and sit down and watch Gaze Baba online. So what would you advise them? Because they also need to understand the need to build momentum, to start small. You know, like the Bible always says, do not despise the days of your little beginning, to start really small. And then what role, so I'm asking two questions in one now. Then what role does education has to play in music? Because for some of them, they might think, well, I can sing. I got what it takes. So I really don't need to go to school. Why do I have to waste so much time? My mom thinks I need to stay in school, but I really don't need it. I can sing. So what role does education play? And thank you, Kimi, for that, for my natural look. Thank you. So yes, what role does it have to play?
Let me start with the second question, which is education.
Okay.
Education makes you better at anything. Education makes you better at anything, regardless of anything. Whatever you want to do, education is going to make you a better that thing. So you want to be a businessman, education will make you a better businessman. You want to be a musician, education will make you a better musician. Yeah. So because something like the university, for instance, the university isn't even just about teaching you academics. It's about giving you a sense of responsibility because you're on your own. So you understand routine. You understand taking responsibility. You understand time for lectures without your mommy waking you up to go to school. So you can decide not to go for lectures. You can decide not to read. And when your results come out, you see the results. Next semester, nobody will tell you to go for lectures. So you learn process in the uni. So for instance, right now, part of the reasons why I can build the proposals I build, because when, for instance, when I'm coming to SEF, for instance, and I want to make propose a light out edition to you, I'm not going to be singing to her.
Very true.
There has to be a document that proves a track record. All that process is what education helps me with. So even though what I do is sing, I'm beyond the singer. I'm beyond the musician. I'm a creative entrepreneur. So the platforms, the reason why I can even build the platforms that I've built beyond just artists is all that I've learned over the years and all the knowledge that I've garnered over the years. So when I'm editing my documents, for instance, my proofreading and word editing is on point. I construct sentences beautifully. You don't learn that in the studio, you learn that in the class.
Very true.
So even though you get your most joy in the studio and on the stage, you also need to go to class to learn how to make the most of what you will create in the studio. If you understand what I mean.
Yes,
so
yes.
That's what it is. You cannot
I would,
you can't downplay the role of education.
If one listens to your music as well, one will find a lot of rhyming words as well, a lot of intellectual statements that you make. That so I want to take away the Christian area and things like that. So you rhyme a lot, and in fact I wish I'd taken down a lot of notes, because when you say things like Ankara and Prada, they just keep rhyming, and you use so many words that were rhyming together at different points in time, and that is a part education needs to play. And when one listens to follow as well, one would see, the message you're trying to pass across there, why it is necessary for us to embrace our cultural identity and then not follow things through, because we have to understand that though we were colonized, they had their own culture. Most of the things that were brought to us has a lot of origination that we might not even be able to know how deep and where it's coming from. And then we have us as well. So follow really it sends out a message that is really, really deep and rich. And when the movie song as well, the one with the birth of Christ. I watched that and I said, look, I saw the birth of Christ from a totally different angle. When you went into what a march will be, they were getting ready. This wedding is going to be serious. They have sent out the invitation card. Then all of a sudden, the bride comes in and says, I'm pregnant. Hello, excuse me. From where? I'm expecting a baby boy. So all of these, it has a part, education has a part it plays in all of that, which is what you're saying. You are also like an administrator of your business as well. So as an administrator, that is not just being the artist and the singing and the, it entails so much. Exactly. So, and I hope our students there, our youths there are really listening and taking that on board so that they really can be cool as well. I love what you said as well, that the music of the people determines the culture of the people, because that is what we emulate. The tattoos, most of these things, it's emulated because they're just seeing it and then it seems really cool. So the more of gays, the more of people like you that we have, the more we can be rest assured that Nigeria does have a better tomorrow. So what message you have there? What can we do to encourage more, raising more? What role can school play in raising more? What was that changing factor for you? Was it school? Was it your parents? What was it that, and where can we come in as a school?
Well, parents have a part to play in what the kids are exposed to. Schools can only do so much. Schools can honestly only do so much. A lot of character building happens at home. But then, if I was speaking on a church platform now, I'll be saying from hard things.
Pastor Gaze, go ahead.
I'm saying on hard things because I feel like the church has a lot of responsibility for young people, and we're not doing so much right now because we don't understand where the power is. We do a lot of preaching on Sundays. The teachers do a lot of talking within the hours of school, but they're teaching academics. Who is feeding the mind and the soul of the teenagers? It's Naira Marley. It's old guys. Yeah. And then you ask yourself, which organizations have the means? Because this is the way for young people. Yeah. Young people, what you do is you give a model. You create a model. They see that model. They admire that model. They do all they can to be like that model. So if that model is putting a plaster on his cheek, like Nelly was doing when
Nelly used to do,
we will put plasters on our cheeks because the person who we are admiring is doing that. If the person that they are admiring is saying no manners, then they are gonna be like, yo, no manners. If the person who you have elevated and put up there as a model for them says no sex before marriage, I promise they are going to say, yo, it means it's cool. No sex before marriage. It's what the model is saying or is doing or is living or is exemplifying. Now, how are models created? Is the media. The media is different from music. Music is those creative. Media is those determining what the people are seeing.
Same.
And media is not child's play. Is huge capital. The church has the means to get into the game, but the church doesn't, because anytime the church tries to get into the game, they're getting to the game to push denominations and push
That's true.
and push. Just the church mess that they are getting there. No, that's not a game. The budget that was spent to push the LGBT agenda through Hollywood in 2019 was about $2.3 billion.
Wow.
That was the budget that was expended on that agenda. And the people who are pushing the agenda, you will not see their faces. You won't see them. You don't see kingmakers, you see kings.
Thanks.
The confusion with the leaders in church is you want to be kingmaker and you want to be king.
And at the same time,
if you're going to be a kingmaker, decide, okay, you guys are going to be the kings and we will set you up. The kingmakers are actually in charge, not the king. Those are deep things right there.
Oh my God. Yes, because we are going really deep now.
But that's what it is. But those are like deeper levels. On this level that we are, what can schools do? Schools can get lighthouse to come and engage young people. Because I mean, because that's what we can do on this level. So if I can be real, say I became a professional artist in 2010. I ran that game till 2016, about 6 years. It was difficult because the media is not pro the kind of content that I'm putting.
Very true, very true.
And so it was difficult. I mean, we kept trying to get maybe like onto Beat FM, get on radio, we did Payola, did a couple of stuff, but it was still riding uphill. So in 2017, I said, you know what? I'm ignoring traditional media, radio, TV. You guys carry yourself, be going. I'm going to the people. It's going to be longer. It's going to be, might be more tedious. There's a lot of more work in it. But then if we reach 10,000 young people, we know we have reached 10,000 young people. When we went to QC on a Monday night, Monday evening. Before the end of the week, we had over 100 direct messages. I personally got over 100 DMs via Instagram from the girls. About 15. So most of the messages were just, that was awesome. There was someone who said, that was the best night of my life. One said, that was the best night I've had in 15 years.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, I'm 15.
Oh.
There was a lot of all that is great. It was awesome. Please come again. There was all of that. But my focus is actually on the about 10 to 15 messages that were saying stuff like, I like how you love God and how you are cool about it. We can actually have fun loving God. It's nice. I didn't know that.
No.
Struggling with homosexuality, who are sending messages saying, I see you and I think you understand us, and so I feel like I speak to you. So this is what I'm going through. What do you think? And when I saw that, I'm like, the students we faced on that night were about 2,000 girls. If we scale up this thing and we reach 20,000 young people, parents will be happy.
Yes, the impact.
Parents will be glad. The society is better for it.
For it, yes, very true.
That's the little that I do, and with my team, because we have a collective, a light out collective of like-minded artists, like-minded creatives who are either making music or doing poetry dancing, and then so we carry this creative movement round and try to inspire the generation.
Well done, well done. I must commend you. Well done. It's a well done job. At Supreme, we can't wait to have Lighthouse definitely at Supreme, because we embrace such activities, because we are developing leaders that would make a change. And of course, there will be stewards of this great nation tomorrow. So well done. We're rounding up, and I really want people to see your projects and everything. So Emmanuel will show that now to see what Lighthouse is like, so that this is to keep your mouth watering for what is about to come when we are over COVID-19 and things are beginning.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Lighthouse is what we've been doing around secondary schools and high schools and colleges across Lagos and beyond. What we try to do is create amazing, unforgettable experiences with music, light, special effects, dance, and all of that for the students. And through this, inspire them towards right living.
When I say holy, you say sauce. Holy, 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 holy.
At the concert, what I saw was using music, spoken words to motivate students to use their talents and their energies in a positive way.
My school posted posters everywhere, and I was like, oh, this is just like normal praise and worship and like normal stuff like that. So I wasn't really expecting to. Then they came and I saw this rock band, everything was crazy. And then compared to what I saw today, topped off my expectations. I didn't expect this much. It was so amazing. I didn't really expect this. I thought it was just normal worship and praise, but it was really uplifting.
I didn't expect myself to get up on a chair and just start dancing, but then I guess
what the concert was the spoken words that Gabe Baba did was really uplifting.
I was actually really surprised that I actually got to stand up. I could express myself in front of everyone.
Lyrics were too much, and it was deep, and it was just too much. Overall, the concert was enjoyable.
The event was so much fun. I like the part when the dancers came and then they dropped some steps, and also the Bagbeoshi song.
Just had lights out at my school, and it was awesome. I mean, the crowd was carried along, everything.
Wow. What I like was the children felt it was praise and worship. Then they got there wow, I like the Bagbeoshi. Beautiful. Well done. That is really good. Really good. Well done. We want more of this. So you are practically becoming the Hillsong of Nigeria. That is what it is. That is the kind of feeling you get when you go for a Hillsong concert, and then you come and you can't even listen to secular music for months, even years after that. It just changes your life. Well done. You're doing a fantastic job. It is such a pleasure to have you with us this evening. We hope to see more of you and do more with you and support you. And we pray that God continues to uplift you and you continue to do a good job by God's grace. Well done. It's such a wonderful evening. Thank you to our audience, as usual, for joining us on Supreme Leverage. I remain your host, Olubukola Adewuyi. See you same time, same day, Friday at 5 o'clock next week. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.